Hello and welcome back to our sixth speech therapy session. Thank you for sticking with me and thank you to those who joined recently. Today I will be sharing some simple ways that I mend clothes and also some childhood stories. These are how some of the clothes currently fit. So these are the clothes that I will be mending. This pant is too long for me, so I have marked where I'm gonna cut it and hem it back. This shirt needs the button to be reattached over here. This top ripped on the side, so I'm going to be mending that. This shorts wore out around the pockets, so my plan is to use a piece of this fabric to reinforce it and then stitch over. And this apron, this was the first apron I ever made from scratch, and the neck strap is a bit too long, so I plan on cutting it and reattaching it. It's so nice out here today. I'll start by threading my needle. So I will be using contrasting thread to what I would have used so that you could see what I'm doing. So I will start with this, replacing the button on the shirt. Where is the button? On the back side of the shirt. And bring the needle up. Through one of the buttonholes. Hope you can see it. And up. And then diagonally into this buttonhole. Down. And then up again through one of the empty buttonholes. Up. And then diagonally through the next one. Down. So you can do this as many times as you want, but I think I'm gonna do it twice, and then that should be enough. So that looks stable enough. The button is not going anywhere. So now I flip it. And then gently take up a little of the fabric with my needle. And then loop the thread 2 or 3 times around the needle. And then pull it up. And that's my finishing knots. Then I will snip off the thread. So next we'll be mending this top. So one of the simplest ways I mend a rip in the seam is using a running stitch. So I would start here a little before the rip and put my needle in, and then I'll put it out again. I try to do it in a straight line. In and then out. See, it's already stitching it. Mending your clothes help you get more use out of them. Saves money, reduces waste, and it feels good knowing that you can do something to save your favorite clothes. For the apron strap, I would also do a running stitch. Sewing, especially hand sewing, helps you slow down and be in the moment. It puts you in a nice, predictable rhythm, like a tree swing, and allows you to think and clear your mind. It creates unity between your hands and your brain. That sounds good for those of us who do not have very good hand-eye coordination. I'm going to try it on before I cut out the excess. Taking a break from sewing to make your cherry pie. For the shorts, I've added the reinforcement fabric and I have pinned it in place. So go ahead and start sewing. I was really fascinated by the construction of fabric as a child. How weaving thread through thread can create these three-dimensional pieces that people can wear. In my teenage years, I got serious again about sewing till I met Netflix. Oh, the endless options of movies to watch, and there went my free time. Cutting back on Netflix binging is something that I am still working on every day. I sew outside when I can. No rushing, just moving the needle and feeling the breeze on my toes. So, Now to this pants, I have cut off the section that I don't need, and I folded it twice. And so I folded it twice towards the inside of the pants, and I have clipped it in place. I would recommend ironing this before stitching it, but it's too hot today and I don't want to turn on the iron. But so I will start stitching. Recently, I have been thinking about why I got into sewing and why the sound of a sewing machine makes me daydream. I think it was more of stumbling into sewing than getting into it. My earliest memories of sewing was me doing so with needle and thread. I used to mend my family's clothes and backpacks. I also remember using worn out school uniforms, rags, and any material that I could find to make things like camisole, teddy bears, and clothes for the teddy bears because we could not afford buying those things. The funniest memory was when I reconstructed a worn down backpack to make a different style of backpack. Of course, it looked terrible and amateurish, and I got teased in school for it. But I was so proud of myself. For a while, I was expecting sewing to magically empty my mind and make me feel light and peaceful. But I learned that it actually brings the thoughts in your mind to your awareness. And instead of fighting them and pushing them away, I have learned to use those moments of clarity to listen, address, and challenge those thoughts in my head. And washing clothes on a sunny day brings back childhood memories. My sister and I spent some of our Saturday afternoons washing clothes outside and chatting about everything. I will tell you more about my childhood later. I hope this has inspired you to give your clothes another chance. Thank you for joining me in this session and see you in the next session. KMS here.